I just happen to come up hard. I just come from the poet's part. Legal or illegal, baby, I never bright like city life. I gotta make it. It's a big rich town.
Fake love, I don't need it, you can keep it, that's a fact. I had to make up my mind. I took that weight on my shoulders. I done been down for.
I'm not trying to say that Jay-Z or Diddy or nobody else don't have no talent, but I figured out what the men be doing in the entertainment industry. They basically latch on to the hottest commodity at the time. So back then when Jay-Z was almost 30 but not yet there, Beyoncé and Aaliyah and Foxy Brown and so was the hottest commodity. Just like R. Kelly latched onto Aaliyah and preyed on Aaliyah and manipulated and took advantage of Aaliyah, just the same way as Diddy did Kim Porter and so many more. I really feel like that they're stealing creative energy, and I really just don't know what I'm saying or how to explain it, but it's like the people out there, y'all know, if you know what I'm saying. For example, Carisha, Young Miami, a part of the City Girls, her and JT was just fine until she got with Diddy, and then all of a sudden she don't want to do music no more. She don't want to be a city girl no more. She want to be a talk show host. What? And JT is flourishing with her music career on her side of being the City Girls. JT doing what she's supposed to be doing. But Carisha, she talk about she don't want to rap no more. But who coming out with new albums instead? Who coming out with new albums instead, y'all? Diddy. Didn't he just come out with that new Love album? But he dating Carisha. She talk about she don't want to rap no more. Girl, what is wrong? I'm telling y'all, Diddy then stole that girl's creative energy, her creative spirit. And when she got with him, it just seemed like everything started to go downhill for her. And now she is trying to revert back to that Carisha Please, because that was the most successful thing she had going on for her during the entire time that she was even messing around with Diddy. Now, I love Saucy Santana, don't get me wrong, but I know the only reason he got on was because Young Miami was messing around with Diddy, and I thought for the longest time, I ain't gonna lie, that I thought him and Diddy might have had something going on. Now, I said what I said.
Feeling like a little kid, I'm still standing there.
Yeah, I'm really from the trenches. Pretty ass lips make these bitches cop syringes. Mwah. No balls.
I got in my Diddy mode. I'm sorry, I started licking my lip. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yo, Diddy, you gave me the ooshkash goosmash. You gave me the ooshkash muaf. The smooshmash. Diddy. Yeah, son. You know what I mean? You gave me the ooshkash muash. I love it, yo.
Yeah, very first time. I got an island, it's called Love Island. So when I took you to Love Island, and then you realized that, the plane landed, and then we had to float to another island. What was going through your head when we were going there?
I was like, I'm finna go to war by this nigga, he mad.
When you going off the grid with me, you got to go to sleep for a week.
Yeah, because it's definitely giving no sleep.
Social media has had their ear to the streets when it comes to this Diddy news, you guys, because he is like Pandora's box being opened into the 90s music industry and everything that was going on in the 90s with Diddy, as well as R. Kelly, Jay-Z, and many more. And sort of kind of what saved the celebrities in the music industry back in the 90s and the early 2000s was that the internet was not back then what it is today. Majority of the news that the people in the 90s would receive, like Wendy Williams, would 9 times out of 10 be by word of mouth, or someone having to know someone who knows someone who knows someone. You really would have to have had connections like that in order to know some of the things that were going down in the music industry, in order to even have the information to report it. And just with my experience having been one of those bloggers to report on the surviving R. Kelly situation that had happened with him and how he went down and he got 30 years in prison for what he was doing to minors in the music industry, it's just really surprising when you are able to also be witness and encounter someone such as Sean Diddy Combs also going down for the same series of allegations, and how it's not only Sean Diddy Combs, but it's Jay-Z as well, and Beyoncé is incriminated. And then there's also other celebrities involved, such as Kim Kardashian and Khloe Kardashian and Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, and there's just so many other people allegedly that are involved. And it's like all the things that Jaguar has been saying all this time, and all these people who have been telling her that she's crazy, she's delusional, she don't know what she's talking about. And come to find out, y'all, like, majority of the stuff that she's been saying over the years is true, and I really feel like that she needs to be protected. I honestly feel like Cat Williams is included in that equation, that Cat Williams and Jaguar Wright needs to be protected. We need to protect Foxy Brown, and we need to protect Britney Spears, because clearly we're dealing with some powerful people when it comes to Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs, because they have been getting away with literal murder for the longest time, you guys. And so they've been able to build these billion-dollar empires. They've been knowing some powerful people since way back in the 90s that they still have connections with till this day. So just to be witness to this situation now in 2024, going into 2025, seeing this situation with Sean Diddy Combs being unraveled, you guys, like, they're going to have to go, like, there are literal individuals that are saying that Sean Diddy Combs did things to them, you guys, from back in like 1991 when they were like 9 years old. And y'all, when y'all really break that down, because I went and got me a calculator to break it down, y'all, that is 33 years that somebody had to sit by and watch somebody continuously get powerful and more powerful and more powerful. And why would these people feel the need to like want to come out and try to say something? Because 9 times out of 10, they're not even going to believe that it really happened. Like, people are going to be doubting them. Just imagine what someone had to go through during the 33 years that they was watching Sean Diddy Combs just rise and become more powerful. And now it's like they're 42 years old, and this happened to them when they were 9. And it's like nobody ever cared about them enough to say anything. And it's like now Cassie came out and filed this lawsuit against Diddy, y'all, and really opened up a whole can of worms and really tried to even give him the grace to try to settle with her before she even made the situation public. And he was still being cocky, like she couldn't touch him, y'all, and went and filed the lawsuit anyway, y'all. And then he still settled with her less than 24 hours later. And I feel like that's where you messed up at. That was your first mistake. Because I'm not trying to say the feds wasn't already coming, because maybe they were, but I'm just saying that he could have like kept whatever Cassie was going to like tell the public behind closed doors, so that it probably wouldn't even have come out the way that it did. But he, you know, because of his money and his status and his notoriety, his fame, he was feeling himself and he messed himself up, y'all. And so now the floodgates, because of his case and everything, the floodgates have opened, y'all. And now we get to like witness everything that we have been questioning ourselves on about the 90s and things that happened with Tupac, Biggie Smalls, Aaliyah. Maybe not in that order, y'all, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, with that being said, let's just go ahead and hop into the video. So this is where it gets interesting, y'all. TMZ on September 4th of 2023 had reported that Sean Diddy Combs had turned down a 9-figure deal and that he was giving his Bad Boy recording artists their publishing rights back. It goes on to say that Diddy chose to do the right thing over money, evidenced in the fact that he turned down a fortune to make sure his former artists have control of their music, TMZ has learned. Sources with direct knowledge tell us that the media mogul and Bad Boy label honcho is making an unprecedented move in the music industry right now, namely handing over the publishing rights to several of his former Bad Boy artists and forsaking a lot of cash to do so. Word of this started to percolate just a few days ago when Cameron took to social media to announce that Mase had finally sealed the deal with Puff Daddy and secured his catalog for himself. It sounds like that had been a long time coming, but what we're told is Mase is far from the only ex-Bad Boy artist to be receiving the rights to their music. Several other artists have recently signed deals with Diddy to do the exact same thing, including some huge names. Our sources tell us that some of the other artists to have gotten a similar deal recently include Faith Evans, The Lox, 112, the Notorious B.I.G.'s estate, and others. By the way, Diddy is hooking up with writers who were working with him too. They're getting a cut in all of this. Here's the kicker. In opting to do this, which we're told Diddy sees as the noble move, he actually sacrificed quite a bit of dough to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. Our sources say Diddy has been approached for Bad Boy's entire portfolio and was offered a king's ransom for it all, but he turned that down and chose to go down this route instead. Again, we're told the rationale for this boils down to wanting to revolutionize the industry with this to empower artists and to switch up the dynamic, which has been a certain way for a long time as a part of his legacy. Diddy's hoping to enrich others in his community. TMZ have reported that Diddy's empire is already as big as they come, so the fact that he's breaking a small piece of it off and giving back to those who helped him build this is a pretty awesome thing to see. Can't stop. Won't stop. But I don't know, y'all. Sometimes I think back and I'll be thinking about those blog sites who are big in the industry and then they're reporting on all the celebrities and they have all the tea and the juice, but they also accept payments from people. I just don't be trusting that they're not reporting for that person who's currently being talked about, which is Diddy. So how am I supposed to know that they really didn't know in the background what was going on? Because I guess you could call this part 2 of that video that I released the other day, which was called The Downfall of Jay-Z and P. Diddy, the Collapse of Empire State Kings. I don't know what this is going to be, but y'all are going to know in the title. Anyway, because when I was doing my research, y'all, I heard all the same things that TMZ was saying, you guys, but I had also heard about the people who were actually trying to buy those music artists' publishing rights from P. Diddy. And this is all allegedly, you guys, because I don't know none of these people and they don't know me. This is just information that I found when I was asking questions on Google. And I ain't saying my information ain't credible because it absolutely is, but I am delusional. And if you watching me, you must be delusional too.
You are going to actually give back the publishing rights to a bunch of artists on your label, which is incredible because it's happening at a moment that actually those rights are going for a very high dollar, and many people would keep that money for themselves.
Yes, us as a people have to look within and do the right thing. So it was just the right thing to do, and it's reform for the industry and reform for just us as people.
Well, you're an incredible human. When TMZ ran the headline, because I do want to call you out, I received the publishing deal. I know what it says. I know how much money it was giving me. I'll tell you, 330 cents. Never can disparage Diddy on any social media site, on any podcast, on any format. $300.30 for a full release of all claims against Diddy and many other players. $300.30. Never have any rights to any claims again over any type of wrongdoings with your music or with any of these parties listed. $300.30. Once you sign it, in fact, it said, you can never mention the existence of this contract ever again. When I went to look at the publishing deal, it said anything but I'm being made whole financially again. I think you would probably be making moves to keep as many people quiet as possible. It asked me to not be able to have access to my story and my experience anymore. It asked me specifically to stay silent. Something really bad is coming. This isn't a man that was reformed.
I'm just not who I am before. I'm something different. So my new name is Love.
And everybody maybe signed it and can't talk. I don't know why no one else is coming forward and talking about this.
Sources tell us that some of the other artists that have gotten a similar deal recently include Faith Evans, The Lox, 112, the Notorious B.I.G.'s estate. And I honestly feel like that he might have did that, yes, to keep people from talking, but also in the same breath that he's going after the artists that would know the most information about him from the 90s. And since NDAs don't stand when there was criminal conduct involved, then they will more than likely use the contract to sign over the publishing rights back to the artist as the NDA, instead of actually using an NDA that has clauses on it when there's criminal conduct being initiated. And I also wanted to add, what is it worth now anyway? Because the money that was made in the 90s off album sales is way different from the money being made these days and times with streaming music. And not everybody is looking for Faith Evans' old albums or the Lox's old albums, because about the only people that's being searched for right now is Tupac and Biggie Smalls. Because the thing that people are now realizing is, yes, he's giving people their publishing back, but nobody is checking for these people no more. And Diddy done already earned all of the good money off of the music anyway, so why not throw them the scraps? Because he could have kept the publishing, the scraps, and gave the people back the money that he got over the years for the publishing rights when it was hot, instead of using it to mistreat Cassie. That you used to live this lifestyle that you take for granted, that you took advantage of, that you mistreated people, a lot of people over the years, and that you never thought that you could be blessed enough to have that position in your life and that God could not take it away from you. And look at you. People out here in the world making bets on if you're going to be like Jeffrey Epstein or R. Kelly. These men going to learn to stop mistreating these women like we ain't powerful beings.